back. I brought some other strange and miscellaneous screwdriver things to put into the toolbox, including, but not limited to, how do I get this open? Look, it's a funny screwdriver from the Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce. Looks like a little house. Maybe when people used to buy houses, maybe this was their big gift. Anyway, into the box. Now, before I forget, because I might, I did grab some batteries for this red-nosed fellow, or maybe not a fellow. I'm just not sure. So I have them in. So let's see.
I'm ready for you to read me my story.
Really?
Bye-bye.
Press here to see my nose glow.
I'm ready for you to read me my story.
Well, it's not special. Oh, maybe I need to put it on.
When you press Rudolph's ear, you'll hear,
I'm ready for you to read me my story.
Rudolph responds to several phrases throughout the book. For example, you might read, he had a bright, shiny red nose. Then you would hear Rudolph say,
You don't mind my red nose, do you?
You won't hear this recording when you slide the switch to the on position on the battery pack.
Bye-bye.
He had a bright, shiny red nose.
I'm ready for you to read me my story.
He had a bright, shiny red nose.
You don't mind my red nose, do you?
No. Well, he seems to be working. Well, I guess he went for the book. And where's the book? Who knows? Bright, shiny red nose. He had a bright, shiny red nose.
I'm happy the way I am.
He had a bright, shiny red nose. He had a bright, shiny red nose.
It's not like everybody else's.
He had a bright, shiny red nose.
You don't mind my red nose, do you?
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see what we have here. Maybe this dude can sit. Don't fall. Don't fall. He had a bright, shiny red nose. He had a bright, shiny red nose.
I'm happy the way I am.
Well, that's not special. Alright, I'm going to turn this on. Everything. This is the 1541 that I had testing before that seemed to do strange things. And I did clean the head. I did. So this will take a while. And the reason I'm doing this now is because this drive was doing strange things, like intermittent things, which of course is bothersome. It just is. It just is. So, I am testing it. This is the one I did the open 15, 8, 15, quote I0, quote, colon, close 15 for, well, the first, somewhere in the first 150 to 200 times it suddenly started to work. Anyway, I cleaned the head anyway. And it is now seeming to be happy. It is. So the next thing to do, there's low drive. And I'm not going to play it at this time, I just wanted to test the drive and see how it was doing. And it seems that it's okay. It does. So I guess I can put away the disk, turn off the drive, unplug the cables, and put it back together. I would think. So, what is noteworthy about this one is, besides that it works, but it took a little convincing, all the chips, all the main chips are socketed. Amen. Mind you, I know that socketed chips can become unseated, and perhaps devices that have sockets may be more prone to failure. But that just means you have to reseat the chips, which is what you should try doing whenever anything is upset and not working. But boy, it saves a whole lot of time when you don't have to unsolder a chip, because unsoldering, I mean, if you're careful and good and take your time, it's fine, it's dandy. Of course, I always put a socket back in, but there's always the chance that something will happen and you'll hurt the board, or pull off a trace, or something. So, one must be delicate and careful, and hopefully find something in a socket. Alright, there is a dirty Q-tip. Not from that drive head though, I will get rid of that. I cleaned some other stuff on the drive. So, this one, 1541, medium board.
Bye-bye.
All major chips in sockets. Works. Cleaned. Head. December 2021. Past. Test. Test. Plus. Load. Excellent. Of course, like most things, it needs to be cleansed. It does, but it works. Okay, I'm going to slide that down here on top of a 64, and there's slime on these feet. Oh, looks like tape, maybe. I wonder why. Anyway, this is another 1541. Yuck, yuck. But this one, ow, 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 ow. This one has the door that is not, but it did power up. Okay. So we're going to open it up and have a look. Sometimes, well, you know what? Sometimes I don't know what to say. Because sometimes I don't have tons of experience with these. But usually, from what I found, there's a little I think there's a little fastener that's supposed to hold the part of the flip door that's supposed to do the flipping. And sometimes something involved in that goes squirrely. Alright, note, lots of ventilation on the bottom of this one. Alright, so the top should come off, and it does. And what do we see? Aha! Aha! This looks like a simple fix. There's a small rod on this little thing, and it does appear, if I can get this, that the small rod has slipped. Ha ha ha. And it has. So basically, the flip mechanism here, and I can maybe do a close-up of this later, the flip mechanism here does the little flip. There's a tiny little rod, maybe about the size of a lead pencil thing, and it is supposed to encourage the drive to close, because when you flip, it pushes down and the drive closes. When I opened this up, because it was flopping badly, the little itty-bitty thing, the size of a pencil lead, which is right here, maybe I will do a close-up, it had slid forward and out of position, like horribly out of position, but with a gentle touch and patience, you just slide it back into position, and now the drive closes, and opens, and closes, and opens. And now, indeed, we can test it. Now before, always best to see what you're plugging into. Perhaps. Before, when I turned this on, it did seem to power up okay. And it still does. So, we don't need load runner. That's always a good sign too. When you, I cut myself earlier, and the Band-Aid pesters me. Anyway, So here we have the Commodore 1541 test demo disk. We will try and load the directory. It loads. How magical. I will slide the cursor upwards. I will type load. I will move across. I will put comma 8. I will hit return. And the program will load. And there it is. So out comes the test demo disk. Keeping in mind, of course, it cannot hurt it. It is write protected. We're going to put our blank disk in. And we will type run. And we will see what we will see. It supposedly takes about 80 seconds to format a disk. So it does. Oops. So, it is formatting. And it sounds good. So that was a simple thing. It's funny, I had not opened one of these up for some time. I forgot about that little rod. I had in mind that maybe there was a tiny little kind of set screw that might have slipped. Thus, meaning that this thing, when turning, wasn't really turning. This is not the case. I believe that's perhaps on the SFD 1001 and some other of the drives. So it seems to be formatting. Oh, it has formatted. It is now writing and testing and testing and writing. This one is also a medium length board one, and all the chips, except for one, the same one as in the first drive we looked at, are in sockets. That is good. It is indeed. So, it is now writing, closing, it's reading the data. And then it will do its magical things that it does. I should, and I always say this, I have always want to look into the program and see how do they make the drive go from one part of the head, track 1 to 35, track 1 to 35. How do they do that? How? I just don't know. I could look. Because it's scratching. There it goes. Alright, so it looks like we have another happy drive, even though it was not to begin with. But it was a quick fix. So that is good. You know what I think I will do though? And we don't have to sit here and do this, oh no. I have not done this on all the drives, but I'm going to load in the directory of the 1541 test demo disk, and I'm going to tell it to load the check disk program. And this probably will take hour or more to do. But it really gives the drive a workout. So, 3 drives, 2 interesting, but they all seem to be working. I think what I need to do at some point is set up 4 drives, device 8, 9, 10, and 11, and do some stuff to move things around and sort of torture things a bit. Watch the LEDs flash. It'll be magical. Anyway, so if you're out somewhere and you come upon a 1541 that has the, the flippy door, which is one that is made by Neutronics, and somebody doesn't know much about what's going on, you flip the door and you say, oh, it's all broken inside, it's all broken. You might get it at a bit of a price if they think it's all broken. Oh, I know what I forgot to do. I'm probably sitting here in the dark. I didn't turn on my extra light. Oh well. So, this is going to go and check every track in every sector. And, you know what I should do at some point? Is I should do that again with this other Commodore 64 down on the floor here that seemed to fail. Not fail, it bugged out of such a test. Very strange. Anyway, well, we don't need that on. We are still, of course, on the air. Anyway, 3 more working 1541s. But I would, as I say, like to set up and do a little torture testing. Which, of course, torture testing is great if nothing fails. It kind of sucks if you set it up and things break. But that's why we do torture testing. If I should sell a board or a drive or the whole thing, I want to know that I have given it a real run through. I do. And if something is going to die, I would rather it die before it ends up in Botswana or where's the strangest place I've shipped something? It wasn't Afghanistan, it was somewhere over that way. Kurdistan? No, not Kurdistan. Another one. I don't remember. I should remember. Anyway, yeah, I don't mind doing a little torturing. And it doesn't have to be horrible torturing. Maybe what I need to do is write a little program to initialize each of the drives in turn. Drive 8, drive 9, drive 10, drive 11. And then maybe I can have a big file. See, this is one thing about the basic 2 commands. I don't remember that I've ever issued the copy command in basic 2. So I'll have to look up on this. But I suppose one thing I could do would be to have 4 disks and 4 drives, and then have them copy a file from device 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, maybe then 11 back to 8, calling it a little something different, and seeing how it goes. And then maybe scratch the new files, leaving the one old file, or files, and have it do it again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and let it churn away. Anyway, as I say, this will take a while. So, no point in watching something as exciting as paint dry or the grass grow. Until we meet again, thank you very much for coming.